Newsroom at 6 p.m. I'm Lorenzo, and thanks so much for joining us. Tonight we are talking politics with our analyst and media correspondent Stacey Siegel and our analyst Brandon Holtz. Both of you, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Alright, so let's start off with Trump's latest move. He decided to ditch the Fox News Republican debate and decided to hold his own event to raise funds for the veterans.
I thought it was a little bit more of just a media stunt. I don't even think he actually cares about veterans in any which way whatsoever. In reality, he was just trying to make a scene, get some attention right before the Iowa caucuses. He already had a lead up on, say, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, but he really wanted to make a statement and set himself apart. Especially for Iowa voters, considering that it's kind of that sort of state, not very industrialized, and wouldn't appeal to that kind of Trump mentality. He was just looking for a way to try and go, I'm not with the mainstream, I'm not with these guys, I'm better than them. So I guess it was
oh, go ahead.
A way to try and set himself out, and it worked clearly because, I mean, the other candidates relatively had a bad night. I guess they used Donald Trump as a catalyst to try and separate themselves. When Donald Trump wasn't there, they didn't have much to say.
Well, there were two other candidates that joined Trump they left the Fox debate and they went to Trump's event.
So, we're here to represent the media and not to be bullied by any particular politician. We support Megyn Kelly. We're behind our constituents, and we have no interest. If you don't want to show up to our debate, have fun on your own. And it was nothing but a stunt. And he has said that he's coming probably to the next debate. So it was a short-lived, idea of his. And ultimately, I don't think he got any more attention for than anything else he says or does.
Isn't being done by Fox News. It's already done permanent damage.
Well, we'll get back to you in a second, but Fox did leave a podium open for Trump in case he did want to come.
Right. He said he would treat them fair. They said they would treat him fairly if he decided to show up, which he didn't. But
and those two other candidates left the Fox debate and came to Trump's debate, if you want to call it a debate.
a speech.
He didn't have a debate. He
right.
just had a bunch of
Right.
rednecks and American flags.
It takes two people to have a debate,
Talk
which is the
about how
entire
much-
point. About the way. Go ahead and tell me about the Hillary Clinton scandal that we were talking about as of 3 days ago. What happened?
Okay, so Hillary Clinton 3 days ago had a huge scandal with the FBI found 22 emails that were deemed highly classified that they previously hadn't found, and that could have a huge adverse effect considering that that's 22 felonies that she should be indicted on. The FBI is all for it, but the Department of Justice has to move forward with it, and they won't because they're appointed by Democrats.
She's never going to get indicted, and Clinton seemed to just become more popular when they lie in public. I mean, if anything, it's going to give her more media attention. And we were just talking about if you're showing McDonald's up against Burger King, they're both huge companies, just like Trump and Clinton, and whoever has the most media attention is more likely to win. That's why advertising works. And Trump has been dominating the media in every way for the past year. Clinton can't get a word in edgewise in the media. So I do think this is actually to her benefit to get more media attention. She doesn't get a minute in the spotlight. He hogs everything. So the funniest thing is that I think it'll work in her favor. She's getting nothing. And the interesting thing also is that after this debate, Megyn Kelly said when he was, boycotting the debate, she said, you know what, Mr. Trump, you're used to controlling everything and you can't control the media. And in a sense he has historically in the last couple of years. And so I think he's finding out that's backfired, and he's having a hard time. All right, so we were also talking about what actually happened at the debate. He claimed he was having a debate of his own, and he was basically just having a speech about how he was enjoying himself, avoiding the debate. Well, meanwhile, the other 7 candidates were throwing a party because he didn't arrive, and at least getting some time in the spotlight themselves. Ted Cruz has really made huge leaps and is right behind Trump now by only 5 narrow points. And that's huge because before he was leading by 40% in the polls, and now he's been knocked down to 29, and Cruz up to 26 or 24. So, it's been a huge leap, and if anything's been the biggest shock in the debate, it's that. So there's been a lot of him attacking Cruz, and Cruz is now challenging him to their own 90-minute debate. He calls it the Lincoln-Douglas debate.
But that's gone way down, at least ever since the debate ended, meaning this weekend. The results of the debate were everybody but Rand Paul had a tough night. He stopped attacking Donald Trump, conceding, realizing that he's going to lose Iowa for a solid second place to try and beat Trump in other areas, considering that he's going to lose Iowa and New Hampshire, and pretty much all the campaigns by this point have conceded to that fact. The question then arises, what about some of the southern states? What about Super Tuesday? That's pretty much any other candidate but Trump's chance to win. All these other candidates have realized that until Super Tuesday, they're all done. So, I mean, it's looking like his game, it worked, his little stunt. So, I mean, you can criticize Trump all you want for it, but at the end of the day, it was a smart move on his part, not because it was the right thing to do, but because it got him some votes.
Well, even Fox News,
is what Republican voters wanted.
Even Fox News, who has hosted him on their show 132 times since he started this campaign, and you would think, obviously, that this conservative news station is a friend of his. And they definitely felt offended and befriended by him when he tried to intimidate them and say, I'm not showing up the debate. And he basically also blackmailed them and said, if you give me $5 million to this charity, then I'll show up at your debate.
And CNN hosted a town hall event with the three Democrats, and what they said was astonishing to most people. They were actually being friendly to each other, saying, I'm in favor of this person, that person. Let's play a few clips from that.
On the Democratic side, having a spirited debate about the issues we care about.
Look, Hillary Clinton is a very good person. Martin O'Malley is a very decent guy. So I'm not, this is not a personal stuff.
So,
do you have a response to that?
I do. Well, I was also thinking in response to that the reason Hillary is being, more congenial and, more friendly to Bernie Sanders than you see these attacks over in the Republican Party is that, number one, she's just seeing herself as the winning presidential candidate, and maybe she can make him the vice president. And so the last thing we learn in history that is if you go back and attack people who are supposed to be your allies later, it just makes you look like an idiot. Like what happened with Obama and Hillary going at each other and making character criticisms, and then all of a sudden he had to make her Secretary of State. So when people go back and play these clips of him attacking her, it makes you look like a flip-flopper. So I do think she knows historically, and her people have told her, don't do that again. So that's, I think, exactly why she's being more congenial to the opposition. She knows she's going to beat him anyway. So she might as well make him look good, and then she can make him her vice president. So it's actually kind of a good move.
All right, I want to thank you both for joining us tonight on Political Talk.
Thank you.
Stay with us here in the newsroom. We have more news coming up next. For our US viewers, we'll see you back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. For our international viewers, we'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at Newsroom US, and we also offer Twitter in Spanish, and French.
I didn't know you had that. All right, you big crazy guy.